If you're blue and you don't know where to go to, why don't you go where fashion sits?
This scene is the most famous moment in Young Frankenstein. It's in every greatest comedy scenes list ever made, and Mel Brooks tried to cut it from the movie. The fight over these 90 seconds got so heated that Gene Wilder and Brooks nearly fell out, and the way it ended tells you everything about how this movie became a masterpiece. That story is number 5 on this list. But first, the lab is real. Every crackling, sparking machine you see in Frederick Frankenstein's laboratory is the actual equipment from the original 1931 Frankenstein with Boris Karloff. It was built by an electrical wizard named Kenneth Strickfaden, and for 40 years it just sat in his garage in Santa Monica. When Mel Brooks found out the machine still existed, he tracked Strickfaden down, and the man not only rented Brooks the whole rig, he came to set and operated it himself. So when you watch Young Frankenstein, you're not watching a parody of the 1931 lab. You're watching the same lab brought back to life, which is kind of poetic for a movie about reanimation. And speaking of things hiding in plain sight, keep your eye on Eager's back. The moving hump. Marty Feldman's hunchback hump changes sides throughout the movie. Left shoulder, right shoulder, back again. That's not a continuity error. Feldman started secretly moving the hump between takes as a private joke, just to see how long it would take anyone to notice. It took days. When the crew finally caught it, Brooks loved it so much he wrote it into the script.
Didn't you used to have that on the other side? What? Your, Oh, never mind.
One of the best jokes in the film exists because an actor was quietly trolling his own production. The horses and the glue myth. Every time anyone says the name
Frau Blücher,
horses scream in terror. For decades, fans have repeated the same explanation. Blücher sounds like the German word for glue. And horses, well, here's the thing. It's not true. It doesn't mean glue. Mel Brooks has said in interviews that he'd heard it was close to a word for glue. But the real joke is simpler and dumber. The horses are just terrified of this woman. For no reason. The myth became so widespread that Brooks spent years gently debunking it. The A-list cameo nobody recognized.
My name is Harold.
The blind hermit who pours boiling soup into the monster's lap. That's Gene Hackman. Fresh off winning the Oscar for The French Connection, one of the biggest dramatic actors on the planet, doing an uncredited bit part in a monster comedy. Hackman was friends with Gene Wilder, heard about the movie, and basically asked to be in it because he wanted to do comedy. He even improvised the scene's final line, he and calling after the fleeing monster.
Where are you going? I was gonna make espresso.
He went uncredited, and audiences in 1974 genuinely didn't realize it was him. The fight over Puttin on the Ritz.
Gateway to immortality.
Gene Wilder didn't just star in Young Frankenstein when he wrote it and brought the idea to Brooks. And when Brooks read the scene where a doctor and his monster perform Puttin on the Ritz in top hats and tails.
I started to argue, and then I argued for about 20 minutes till I was at least red in the face. I think it may have been blue.
Wilder fought him. By his own account, the hardest he ever fought for anything. And Brooks finally gave in. Years later, Brooks admitted something incredible. He'd argued against the scene on purpose as a test. If Wilder was willing to go to war for it, the scene deserved to stay. If he'd folded, it would have been cut. The most beloved moment in the film survived because one man refused to back down. If you want more behind-the-scenes stories Hollywood forgot to tell you, the next video is already on your screen. Subscribe to Spool and Whisper so you don't miss it.
Putting on a ring.